The new India, which has emerged under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Damodar Das Modi, has worked hard to ensure that India holds the podium position in the international arena. Today, India is not a mere listener on various global issues which affect it. Moreover, today various countries look up to India for a solution to most severe problems. India is now seen as a key mediator and a peacemaker. From being branded as a soft state in the past to not succumbing to any kind of pressure, India's foreign policy is now guided by the principle of taking the bull by the horn. We are no longer taking diktats from the so-called Western or Europeans who used to preach about how to combat terrorism and tell us about being tolerant towards all religions. Now, they too are facing the wrath of terrorism and Islamization.
Somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems. That if it is you, it's yours. If it is me, it's ours.
One of the first instances where India's voice was heard and taken seriously was at the time of the outbreak of the Russia-Ukraine war. India safely got back the students who were stranded in war-marred Ukraine. This was evident from the fact that the bonhomie between Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin was strong, as the Russian forces stopped the military attack for a few hours and ensured that vehicles or aircrafts carrying Indian students did not face any problem and they returned home safely. Moreover, the Indian government did not succumb to the pressure that was exerted by the US when it came to not buying oil from Russia. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar categorically said in a talk show that India needs to protect the interest of its population and therefore they will take decisions which are in their interest. Today, India does not follow the policy of non-alignment and we take stands so as to protect the best interest of our people. India has always been a peace-loving nation and puts humanity above everything else. The Indian government provided the COVID-19 vaccine to a large number of African nations so that a large section of the population could be saved from the wrath of COVID-19. India is primarily an agricultural country and we provide tons of food grains to other nations so that their population does not starve. These measures exhibit that we are no longer a developing nation, and if things are correct and justifiable, we will go out to help the world and save humanity. However, India did subtly convey its message when Prime Minister Modi said that today's era is not of war. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu lauded Prime Minister Modi for his exemplary leadership during the COVID-19 as well as during other international crises. The best part has been that the dragon has been tamed to the core by India. They made the mistake of messing with Indian armed forces at Tawan. They were taught a lesson by our armed forces as they beat them black and blue and pushed them back to their territory. The videos which have emerged clearly show that the Chinese soldiers were battered. This shows how India is not bogged down by any kind of fear now, and we take the bull by the horn and show them their right place. It was on December 1, 2022 that Indonesia passed the presidency of G20 to India. It has been a big accomplishment as the world is really looking up to India. After taking the reins of G20, Narendra Modi said in a statement that the challenges of climate change, terrorism and pandemics can be solved not by fighting each other but only by acting together. Modi also underlined a need to depoliticize the global supply of food, fertilizers and medical products so that geopolitical tensions do not lead to humanitarian crisis. With diplomacy and dialogue as key components, India has maintained its strong stance at the World Forum in regard to Russia-Ukraine war. At the same time, India was quick in its support to Ukraine with all possible humanitarian aid. Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has carved a new image for India, where it does not bow down to external forces, where it is not gullible and fearful. Rather, today we have our own voice and opinion which matters to the world. Towards the end of the year, India slammed Pakistan when they tried to take up the Kashmir issue at the international forum. S. Jaishankar categorically said that the country which houses terrorists has got no right to preach.
You're asking the wrong minister when you say how long will we do this, because it is the ministers of Pakistan who will tell you how long Pakistan intends to practice terrorism. So look, at the end of the day, the world is not stupid, the world is not forgetful.
Time and again, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar had the right answers to all the cohort of questions which were raised by the West. With concrete facts, India emphasized the need for diplomacy and dialogue while keeping its independent stance intact. Jaishankar had dismissed any wrongful comparisons to native border disputes and also raised the issue of rising high prices of food and energy and how people of India and their welfare are the main concern of Indian authorities.
Why should I step up to what the West wants? I will step up to what I want. No? You think by voting for something I will end the war? Had I done all the things that you were saying, I would have been of no use to anybody, including myself and Bali.
Last but not the least, it seems that India will bring an end to Russia-Ukraine war as Prime Minister Modi had a telephonic conversation with Ukrainian President Zelensky. Post the conversation, Zelensky tweeted and said, "It was on this platform that I announced the peace formula and now I count on India's participation in its implementation." India has created a space for itself where it is neither appeasing nor has it to defend its opinion.